I want to talk about something that's that I just saw earlier today, and quite frankly, is bugging the living hell out of me. With that being said, let's get into it. This is a podcast which one of the hosts is Joy Reid, another one is another Reid. Believe the name is Jackie Reid. Jo- I don't know. But anyways, they had Tamika Mallory on there running their mouth about Stephen A. Smith. So since they won't run their mouth about Stephen A. Smith, I'm gonna run my mouth about all of them. Let's go.
Here's what you can and cannot buy with the 2026 senior from camping, which was way out in the woods.
We need black men to stand in the gap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Check another
To
black
me,
man and
Tamika
say,
Mallory
"Keep
need to
your
go
hand
somewhere.
and your mouth off
Yes.
of Jasmine Crockett. And if you did not go,
So let me get it straight, Tamika. You don't like the fact that Stephen A. has an opinion that doesn't line up with yours? Kiss my ass, woman. Kiss my whole black ass.
on air 2 weeks ago and call Laura Loomer out for the language that she used about this black woman who looks like your daughter, then
Come on.
you get the right to put your mouth on Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. A three, a two, a one. Hey everybody, welcome to Read This, Read That. I am Jackie Reid.
I'm Joyanne Reid. I think my hair's still sticking up.
No, it's not. It looks very cute.
I don't think you.
Are you letting
What?
it grow out or what's going on?
What
I let
hair?
it grow out just a little bit so that I can do a slick down because, of course,
Joy. What hair do you got? You bald headed. What are we talking about? You're bald headed.
we were at a certain party and I wanted to have a little bit of a slick look and not have it always a little curly because I wanted it to be more of a period look for a certain reason I know you're going to discuss a little bit later. But yeah, so I wanted to grow it out just a teeny tiny bit.
No, it's very cute, very cute. And I have to say that your show this week on Monday for Indigenous People Day was incredible. The guests that you had, it was so good. I have books to order. I always leave. I'm like, okay, I need to order this book. I need to follow this person. I need to do this. So, really great show. If you all have not watched that particular show, you should watch all of them. But that's a really, really important episode to watch.
Thank you, cousin Source, sister friend.
That's like my thing, girl. Like I got the support, but it's like my pleasure. It's like it's just such great information, and I love the way that you have the freedom to do the show the way you want to do it and talk about the things that you want to talk about. I just love it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so both of our wind down is the same because we were together this past weekend, and we went to a great birthday / was it a Halloween thing?
No, it wasn't a Halloween. It was a theme birthday.
Yeah, so a theme birthday because I was like, this is early for Halloween, but the theme of it was based on the wardrobe from the movie Sinners. So everybody was dressed up from that time period, and boy, we had a time. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the party was on Saturday night. We both got there on Saturday, like midday, but some people came on Friday. It was like a whole weekend. And I have to say this, the thing that I loved was, there's the I don't know, can we say it was Michael Harriet? They're not keeping it quiet, right?
I don't think it's a secret. Yeah, because it's probably going to be on Contraband Camp. So
okay. I was like, wait a minute, am I supposed to say this? So it was on their property, which is 26 beautiful acres of land, and they have this big, beautiful house that was formerly owned by slave owners. This is a former plantation, this land, and it is, they were able to buy it, to acquire it. Michael Harriot is writing a whole book about the experience, so I won't go into great detail about that. But I will tell you, we had a fabulous time. There were some great people who, Joanne flew in, others flew in. There are those of us that drove there from Atlanta because we were in Georgia. And it was so much fun. And they had those of us who were staying overnight in these cabins in the middle of the woods, like up the street from them.
It was a little get out.
As we were driving, girl,
let me
Friday the
speed this
13th.
up.
Easy.
Here's what you can and cannot buy
They doing
with the
too much talking
2024
for me.
senior spending card.
Eclectic group of Black people, you name it, the Black intellectuals were there, plus also a lot of little folktale. But yes, thank you, Bill. So so I was told that she's gonna be paying attention to what I was eating. I was like, oh shit. So I'm gonna have to really think about what I'm eating. The food, I will say, was good. I mean, I think this one thinks it was great, but she's a vegan, so she has a different palate than mine, right? My palate is not so used to vegan food, so I'm like, it was definitely better than most vegan food, for sure, and big ups to whoever cooked it, because it was actually
home.
what I had to do today is
go to church, but read the Bible and find out who you are and what you should be doing for salvation. So there you go, girl. Get some salvation.
They said we need to get
It's saved, girl. You need to read your Bible. So on Project Runway, we were divided on that. So we got a lot of people, were divided. So Sybil Ann Williams, 1205, said, Joy, you were right. That choice of the winner was
physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. The two members of the chat responded. Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, and everyone that endorsed them then votes for us is going to the gas chamber. When do the person responds? When do we start bullying? Dude. Next person responds. We have a solid 3 people who can probably have them want to jump. The next person says, if they vote for us, why should they be gassed? And then they just keep going on. They say, one person says, we only want true believers. Another person says, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. Next person says, I'm ready to watch people burn now. That is the kind, and then the last person responds, we gotta pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in, take a shower and relax. Boom, they're dead.
It'd be interesting to see what people like Jessica Seinfeld, her husband, Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian and actor. I don't know if Deborah Messing, the actress from Will and Grace, has been praising Trump after this peace deal. But it'll be interesting to see if they speak out against something like this. Where people talk about gas chambers. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Let me see. Here's one they could maybe get into. It says, here's another part of the chat. Yeah, I had some back and forth at the VC in Michigan. Current chair is a deer in headlights. We have a call Wednesday. Somebody says, many agree. Next, this first person says, he did say, my delegates I will bring to vote for the most right-wing person. And then the next person says, great, I love Hitler. So now if Jessica Messing and like you said, Mr. Seinfeld and others who are super duper Zionists and supposedly very into their Jewish faith, let's see if they have anything to say about the I Love Hitler Republican Party that they now feel that is their tribe.
Yeah, I want to see them say something about this. And I also would love to see mainstream media to cover this in a big way with all these things that we just rattled off, what's happening in the world, and the fall of democracy in the United States. It is amazing to me that the news media, particularly television news, broadcast news, is not covering this wall to wall like they would if there were a
Democratic chat. They even have one word in it.
No, but like if there was a mass shooting or wildfires, that's when news does wall-to-wall coverage. This is like everything that's happening here is fascism already up and running. I mean, we're living it, and people still want to deny that. And the news media, the management of news, let me say, for the most part, the way that they're running things and the way that the directives that they're giving to their employees is keeping them from covering this the way that it needs to be covered. I mean, the United States is on fire. There should be wall-to-wall coverage with this stuff going on, but it's not happening.
And the reason that it's even more important is, number one, this is the political party that controls all of the government, from the Supreme Court to the House to the Senate. They control the whole government, and this is their next generation of 15,000 young Republicans who will then take over the party. So you're telling me that it is not a big story? I mean, Politico decided it was a big story. They put it on their website, and it's a big scoop for them. But let's see if they get booked a lot. Let's see if CNN or NBC or ABC or MS Now, whatever it's called, Ms. Now, let's see if they feel like this is a big enough story to make a huge deal out of. They would definitely do it if one Democrat got caught saying the N-word. No, let me give you an example. The guy in Virginia who's running for attorney general is basically been kicked aside by his entire party because he sent some untoward texts, right? And this is a brother who's running for attorney general in Virginia. And this is a huge story that everyone is covered. The text messages between Jones and a colleague were released where Jones suggested Republican colleague Todd Gilbert should get 2 bullets to the head. I mean, not a smart thing to say in a text. He's texting a white colleague, white woman, brother, maybe not the wisest move. And he texts this white lady that maybe he's got a little crush on. I don't know why he's texting her that. He texts about this Republican should get 2 bullets to the head. That because the media loves this
stupid
narrative
move
about it's really the left that does political violence. This is their new thing that they want to try to prove because Trump and Bondi are saying it, and it isn't true.
It's not true. Both sides have said political violent stuff. But let's keep going.
Statistically, it's not true, but any narrative that makes it seem like a Democrat is violent becomes a huge story that they will not let go. This story is everywhere. This dude is dropping in the polls. There's a possibility that this could pull down Democratic turnout and literally cause Virginia to fall into the hands of a mad woman, Winsome Sears. I hate that that's her name. Winsome Sears, a really classic Jamaican name. So y'all can't disown her. Because that name is very Jamaican. I know that lady's Jamaican. Disown her. Because that name is very Jamaican. I know that lady's Jamaican. Sorry, Jamaicans, but you got her. You don't get Candace, but you definitely get Winsome Sears. That lady is a nut job, and she is the lieutenant governor of Virginia. If she ends up sweeping in because people don't turn out to vote because this guy, they're mad at this guy, or if they choose a Republican attorney general in the state of Virginia, that means you can forget Virginia getting back its rights in terms of book bans, joining any of the lawsuits to protect immigrants. You can forget Virginia being a place that will protect women's right to abortion. You can forget Virginia doing any gun reform because this guy will be the attorney general, the right winger, the Republican.
Yeah.
So you're telling me.
Why is it Democrat women in particular that are so focused on child deletion? That's something I never understand. Why are Democratic women so focused on child deletion? It's weird.
Interesting. No, go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
No, I was just going to say, you're telling me that this guy sent some dumb text and he's literally being destroyed politically. This brother being destroyed. But the mainstream media doesn't care that an entire group of young Republicans are saying, I love Hitler. Go on.
Not just that. Think about how many people lost their jobs, right? When they said something about Charlie Kirk.
Correct.
They talked about his politics. And no one was wrong in what they were saying or posting. But so many people lost their jobs because of the ultra sensitivity around the tragedy that was his death and how he died. Yeah. But it wasn't like he wasn't this horrible person. I mean, and for people get fired for pointing that out.
And let's be honest, even though Charlie Kirk did believe in free speech, a lot of people forget that there's a line between free speech and hate speech. A lot of people don't know what a line is, but here's the thing: Charlie Kirk did have bigoted views. It is what it is. His
crazy.
views
All right,
were
so
that it was bigot.
let's get to some hot topics. This is really sad news. D'Angelo, the singer, is dead at 51. The Griot is reporting that his manager says the singer died after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Now, he's survived by his 3 children, including a son he fathered with Angie Stone, who died earlier this year. So this baby done lost both his parents.
Yeah.
It's so sad to lose him. You know, he's had some ups and downs in his life, but you cannot deny this man's talent. So talented. And the video, the legendary video that he did, the
Untitled
video, girl, unmatched.
Best video, greatest video ever, other than Michael Jackson. The most impactful music video, I would argue, other than Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson's video. Michael Jackson probably is the king of music videos. But other than Michael Jackson's iconic videos like Bad, this video broke the internet before there was an internet really to break. This came out in 1994. It stopped the presses, period.
Of course, the women loved it.
Fine as hell. He had the lips, he had the body.
Was he naked? He didn't have on nothing down, like
he was
under the camera?
No, ma'am. And there was one part where they even flashed his little tutu. And it wasn't a little bit tutu. They flashed his titi. His tutu titi was like showing, okay? They showed him from the back, booty was up, everything he was naked. But what ended up happening was that song Untitled, How Does It Feel, went rocketed to the top of the charts. This dude became known as the naked guy, and it really actually hurt his confidence. It caused him to be super insecure because everyone was just defining him by that video and not by his music. He basically is almost the inventor of the neo-soul genre. I didn't even realize this until today when I was reading his obit. He wrote the song
inspired by a true story.
I got all on my land. God gave me the ears to hear.
When her faith was tested,
What's the damage? This might be the end of the road.
You give them so easy.
she inspired a nation to believe.
How does it feel to be the
was reading his obit. He wrote the song You Will Know when he was like 19 years old. You remember that song, Your Dreams Ain't Easy, You Just Stick by Your Plan.
Oh, yeah, he wrote that?
Boys to Men. Yes, he wrote that song.
Because he also did something on the Jason's Lyrics soundtrack.
That's from Jason's Lyrics. That's the song. That's the closest.
That's what really got him recognized.
Yes, and he wrote a bunch of songs, I think, for Jason's Lyrics. But that song, he collaborated with A Tribe Called Quest. Ali Shaheed Muhammad. He's collaborated with all of these incredible musicians. Raphael Sadiq he collaborated with. Like, you name it, he was the go-to guy if you wanted to break in or you wanted to add neo-soul to your genre of music. Brilliant writer, singer, everything he did. What is that?
We love him. R.I.P. My favorite song is Nothing Even.
We love him. He was only 51.
With Lauryn Hill. Also, sad news, the great Diane Keaton also died. Known for her roles in the Godfather trilogy, Annie Hall, Baby Boom, First Wives Club, Father of the Bride, both movies, and Something's Gotta Give, one of my favorite movies with her. She
same age as Trump. Why is she the same age as Trump?
She's a fashion icon, of course, when it came to women's empowerment. And she was a Democrat who supported Obama, Hillary Clinton. I don't know if she supported Kamala. I know she's been very sick. Her family's being very private about her cause of death. She was 79 years old, so we don't know what that was. But friends were saying, you know, she had gotten really thin. So she's been sick for a while.
And by the way, there's a great TikTok, if y'all haven't seen it, about this sister who talks about how she comes from that old school of white women who we in the mix. That Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, like that's the spicy white women that we need in this moment. And she's that era of those women who were down for the cause, and we love Miss Diane Keaton.
I know, I love her on
glasses.
I know, and her style, her you know, just
her hats, fabulous.
Her ties, her vest.
Ties, yeah, she had a little menswear fabulous. Like, she was awesome.
She was amazing. All right. Moving on to other news. This is going to make you cackle. I know you're going to have a lot to say about this. The NFL halftime show featuring Bad Bunny has some competition, girl. I know the NFL is worried because Journey Point has introduced its America's halftime lineup with Kid Rock as the headliner.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be Kid Rock. I knew it.
Ted Nugent, Travis Tritt, Jason Aldean, John Rich, Lee Greenwood, and more. That's the lineup. I don't
Give
think
me
there's
a
a
fucking
woman in
break.
the bunch.
I mean,
It's
why
all
would there
white
be?
men.
It's a man bowl. It's a man bowl. And I mean, and I'm sorry, who's watching that? Okay, yeah. You know what? Good luck. Put all of them B-listers in one room and let them sing their little hearts out. I mean, like boring. Okay, whatever.
I mean, Kid Rock is your
Don't bring no.
headliner.
But you know what? By the way, if y'all gonna have Ted Nugent, there, don't bring no underage girls in that stadium. You gotta leave your daughters at home. Just saying.
Listen. And you sent me a video that I love, and we're gonna play a bit of it for the audience. But it is, girl, whenever I'm drinking too much carbonated water,
Too much carbon, you got got burnt.
like I gotta burp myself.
Okay.
Okay. So folks are conflicted over leaving.
One person.
Yeah.
So that was what they called her interfering with federal law enforcement because she was simply witnessing as a journalist
Right.
them kidnap a brown person. So now that's their new thing. There was another video equally horrifying of the supposed ICE. We don't even know because they don't identify themselves. Armed
They're not.
agents in full fatigues and AK-47s or AK-47 or AR-15, some kind of long gun, jump out. They ram a car. They bash into another car as they're trying to escape with a brown person in their car. They hit probably accidentally another car. Their reaction to hitting another person's car is to jump out of their car, grab open the door of this woman who had nothing to do with it, and drag her off and arrest her. And they're going
And
to
where do
charge
these
her.
people end up?
We don't know, and that's the thing is, if nobody says, and the brave people are people who film it and ask for the name, because if you don't even know the name, if you just disappear and no one's filming you, you could just disappear. I mean, there are pregnant women who've disappeared, there are children who've disappeared, and no one knows where they are. That's where we are. We're in Gestapo. That's what I'm saying. Are we the Germans that are pretending that people are not disappearing? Anne Frank said terrible things are happening outside. Terrible things are happening outside.
Yeah.
You have to
Well,
wake
my
up.
thing is, if you're staying, you need a plan.
You need a plan.
You need some
You need
kind
a
of plan. Yeah.
And you need your
Because I
passport. Get your passport updated. Even if you don't want to leave, try to order yourself a passport. Make sure your ID is up to date. Make sure you're walking with it. You have a phone number of a lawyer when you travel around. Make sure that your phone is something you don't mind somebody. If they force you to open your phone, know what's in your phone. Have a backup phone. You need. I mean, it's terrible. You have to start acting like you live in Nazi Germany, just in your mind.
It really shouldn't get to that.
And there she goes with that talk. Wouldn't be Joanne Reed with that talk. The fearmongering. Even though things are a little screwed up, there she is with that talk.
For the citizens. I mean, a lot of people are
It
already
is.
starting to. No, I get that, but I'm just saying.
Here's what you can and cannot buy with the 2026 senior spending.
A lot of people are
It
already
is.
starting to. No, I get that, but I'm just saying. To me, I'm pissed off at these liberal leaders, these anti-Trump leaders that are not doing things like protesting or like how I talked about how the media should be wall to wall. The Democratic Party and congressional leaders should be having news conferences every day about this stuff, right? You just told that story about the thread and the I hate Hitler stuff. Where's the press conference about? Like they are normalizing this. I was pissed at Barack Obama for putting out that statement, basically celebrating and congratulating Trump.
Right.
Peace deal that he broke.
It's not even a peace deal. It's a
It's not even. It's a ceasefire, and it's not even complete, right? It's not. It may not even hold, right? But he's so quick to put out a statement, and I love Barack Obama, but I need for these Democrats to stop normalizing this presidency.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even give him the credit for it. Like, of all the things that Barack Obama could be speaking out about, he could have left that one off the table. He
Well,
might have said it's good that the hostages are being returned on both sides.
Right. And no one ever leaves that out.
But this whole talking, but he talked about the deal being broken, the ceasefire, peace deal, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, Biden put out another statement about this. Like, why are we normalizing?
They're normalizing Trump as a president, and then today Obama has out a clip where he's telling people to vote for that initiative in California, where they're going to gerrymander California to retaliate against Texas. Now that's a good message, but it waters it down when you just were praising Trump. Now you're saying you have to stop what Trump is ordered Texas to do. It's Trump that is the reason you need people to vote for that California thing.
Right.
You have to remember, it's the same guy.
Well, it's like I said, going back to the inauguration, Jimmy Carter's funeral. You know, they kiki with him and they honor him. You know, with this respectability politics as a president. But me,
This talk is getting so tiresome.
you're telling us how dangerous.
Let me
it is.
fast forward.
Correct.
Meanwhile,
It can't
you
be
know,
both.
you're also telling us
Democrat in there about power. Joe Biden, you should have said 28th Amendment is law. I'm gonna record it myself. At that, I'm gonna fire that lady from the recorder. She doesn't want to do it. You're fired, and I'm gonna put someone in who'll do it, or I'll do it. We would now have a 28th Amendment, and women would have protections. We could actually have national protections because we would have equal rights under law. But no, he's like, well, that's not the way it's done. It has to be the lady has to be. And then she got fired anyway because Trump fired her because she wouldn't do what he said. So it didn't make a difference. She still got fired because even though she was trying to kiss his ass, she came from Obama. So she got fired anyway. Oh, Biden should have fired her. Like, it's like you think about the things he could have done. Build Back Better. We have an interview that we're going to be running with Cori Bush, which by the time this airs will have run. Hopefully you guys will watch it on the Joy Reid Show. We talked about the fact that when Build Back Better happened, Biden let them split it from the infrastructure bill, left all the stuff for blacks and women and young people and veterans, left all of that good stuff on the table so they could get the infrastructure bill through because Joe Manchin said he wasn't going to vote for it if they left Build Back Better in the bill. They should have told him, well, then, you know what, you better build back a better way to get in the Senate because we're going to take all your money and we're not going to let you run and we're going to run somebody against you in the primary. They should have threatened him. How about if Virginia doesn't get any money? What if your appropriation for West Virginia is zero? How does that? That's what Harry Reid would have done. He would have said, oh, really, Joe Manchin? You don't want to vote for Build Back Better? How about West Virginia gets this much money in the next appropriation? How about you get goose eggs? He would have busted him up, but Chuck Schumer's like, I guess we got to get this. Kirsten Gillibrand.
There's a brother that aligned with Mamdani that's going to run that's thinking about running it, challenging Hakeem Jeffries for his seat.
Gotta happen. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be primaries. The squad got in by primary people. That's it's just the way it has. It's just the way Charlie Rangel got in by literally primarying legendary Adam Clayton Powell Jr.
It has to be done. These people cannot, they either need to move if they're not really willing to fight the way that they need to fight, or they need to change the way their methods. They really need to change things up. And these leaders should also be lobbying international leaders to stop kissing the ring of Trump. I say again, look at what South Africa was able to do based on international pressure. The UN did not even let this man in the building.
No. Look how Mexico is treating him. Shame down, shine down. She's like, don't come for me if I didn't call you.
Everybody should be doing this. And Obama.
Canada too. Canada's like, F you, Trump.
Obama, Kamala, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Condoleezza needs to get in this. They all have these international relationships.
Call everybody and tell them.
I can't believe I'm about to agree with Joy Reid, but the Democratic Party is a party of PUSSYs. I'm just saying.
Don't take Trump's calls. And listen, and let me tell you something. This is the last thing I want to say. I know we have a guest coming up. If that Nobel Committee gives Trump that Nobel Peace Prize for a ceasefire, it's over. Then it's internationally over. It doesn't matter where you move. Because there is no reason. He didn't get the Nobel Prize the first time because A, he hasn't done anything to earn it. And secondly, the Nobel voting closes in late January. I think it's January 25th is actually the closing date. It's like an award, so it has a closing date. So he was 5 days into his administration. He wasn't eligible for anything he did after January 25th. He's been now begging, whining, threatening, moaning, screaming at Modi from India, screaming at everybody, screaming at the Norwegians, demanding the Nobel Prize. If they give in and give it to him next year, then the earth is cooked. Because that means that even they don't have the balls to stand up to this fool.
Girl,
this geriatric fool.
They're probably going to give it. Who's going to stop them? Who is going to stop them? The
And they also
Democrat?
gave it to
Who's
like
gonna
a female
stop 'em?
version of him, right? Because like the lady from Venezuela
Girl.
is really not that different from Trump.
They're
So
gonna-
it's
who's gonna make them feel the pressure not to do it?
yeah.
Who's
and
gonna
that's
do
the question.
anything? Nobody.
I think we're going
Nobody.
to end up, and then I will close with this. I think we're going to end up at the point where our leaders are not going to be capable of protecting us from fascism, and we, the people of the world, are going to have to treat Trump.
Derry is a beautiful place, but things do happen. Keep the people you love close.
Come on. Come on.
If you need full dentures but can't deal with the endless expensive dentist visits, you need to see this. I used to hide my mouth every time I laughed. I'd avoid eating out because I was terrified my dentures would slip and
Treat Trump the way that the world treated South Africa when it was white South Africa.
That's what I
We're going
said.
to need
That's the
a
only-
global
It's the only way that
boycott.
we fight this. And like I said, those leaders who have been in power, they have these relationships. This is the work that needs to be done.
Boycott
This is the thing that has to happen. I know
Trump's
people are like, oh, Obama's, he's not the president anymore. He deserves to relax. We're losing democracy here.
We
They're
are.
not even honoring the competition. The judicial system is shot. I mean, I can't.
We're cooked.
We
Maybe
are.
should move. But move. Maybe we should move. I mean, shit.
No, I want to
do it.
stay. Okay.
And I like my house. I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. All right, we have a great guest coming up.
Yes.
Stay with us. We have with us today, I'm very excited. I love this woman, activist
Yes,
and
same.
author and founder of the social justice organization Until Freedom, TAMIKA Mallory, who has spent
Oh, Lord.
much of her life. No,
Here we
she
go.
has spent
Lord.
Like her whole life. So she
I'm
was
not-
out
it's not my table.
On a baby. But she has spent her entire adult life fighting for Black people. But most recently,
You mean stealing from
between all
Black
the
people
things
when
that
you was
does,
with Black
she
Lives
shared
Matter?
How Black men need to take the lead and boycott Stephen A. Smith by turning off his broadcast. And let me read you what he
Shut
posted,
up,
and then we'll get
Tamika.
into. There she is with her beautiful face. So she said, "Black men, I have a question. I see a lot of great commentary from many of you on Stephen A. Smith's ignorant statements time and time again. This time, he disrespected a powerful Black woman who's putting her life in danger fighting for us. At what point will you all lead the charge to, all caps, turn him off?" Come on.
Tamika.
And I love that. And I saw that and I said, let me reach out to her and see if she'll come on and talk about this. First, hello, lady. We love you.
Hello.
So you mad over Stephen A. Smith having an opinion? Is that what you're telling me?
The 19 or 20-year-old Tamika D. Mallory, everyone, because honestly, I know you can talk about how old Black people are, but I promise you, this child looked like a teenage girl, but she's an adult.
She's been doing this since she was damn near a teenager. I mean,
Yes.
it's crazy. But Tamika, I want to talk to you about this because Stephen A. Smith has made it his business for some reason to target Black women. He did it against VP Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Serena Williams, Angel Reese, all the women, Black women in the WNBA.
Jack,
Yeah.
you know why he's doing it. Come on.
I know, I don't. I
You know.
really, but I
You
would
don't
like
know why?
to. I don't, but please.
Why does
inform
Megyn
me.
Kelly do it? It's the clicks on the right. When it comes to the right wing, there's no clicks like you can get for attacking Black women. It's their favorite thing to do. It's why they all do it. That is why he's doing it.
But
To
as
get
a
right wing clicks.
Yeah, well, I hope it's all worth it. I mean, because he has a Black daughter. You know what I mean? So I hope it's all worth it. But Tamika, what was it that made you say,
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, ain't nothing but shame, guilt, insults, and need to be right.
hey, okay, Black men, y'all need to wake up on this one?
So first of all, thanks for having me on. This is quite exciting. My two beautiful sisters, and you are right, Jackie. You've known me since I was almost born. So we were young ladies,
Yes.
long time ago. That's when you were wearing your fabulous pixies. And I used to be so like, oh my God, I love her. She's so fly, pixie hairstyle. And I respect both of you so much, and I think you know that as my sisters. And I also think that next year Trump will receive the Nobel Peace Prize. I think that they're going to give it to him because, that's
For
just how things
what?
are. Because first of all, the woman they gave it to now, what's her name?
She's from
Maria. Well, not only did she, dedicated to Trump, but she also, when looking at her background, there's some things there that we're not going to get into today, but she definitely supports Israel big time. And so that tells me that, whatever they're doing to make the decision, Trump probably will have some leeway, right?
Yeah.
Like he'll have some advocacy there from folks because that's what we're dealing with.
Maria Corona Machado. She is the Venezuelan opposition leader who's pro-democracy, but she wants in, and she basically would just be a female Maduro. So yes, please go on.
So there's that. So, anywho, so let me tell you, the only reason why I know what Stephen A. Smith said is because I follow a bunch of black men who I woke up and they were like on their regular rant, because this is not the first time that I have, seen several black men talking about something that Stephen A. Smith said, and they may play a clip in their post, and then I'm like, damn. And it's been Kyrie Irving, it's been, whether he was telling Kyrie, stop being problematic, and then, get your money, don't mess up your money. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. And it was Jalen Rose, and he's like, it's not that what you're saying is wrong, but you got to play the game. So I hear a lot of capitulation oftentimes and from him, and taking certain positions that for me just it doesn't represent a person that I feel is 100% 10 toes down for us as black people. But that's his opinion, right? And it's cool.
Inspired by a true story.
My name's Sarah.
You can call me Bert.
A girl's ambition.
I got a little mom.
Opinion, right? And it's cool.
Okay. If y'all saying that's Stephen A's opinion, why are y'all having an issue with it? Is my question. If it's Stephen A's opinion, why do y'all have an issue with it? Let's
I
continue.
think when you start messing around with Jasmine Crockett, that's a whole different area for us. It touches a different nerve. One, because obviously she is a black woman, but you're dealing with someone who is being attacked every which way we turn, right? Like you got Donald Trump calling her low IQ regularly on his social media posts. You have Laura Loomer calling her every kind of BITCH, basically ghetto. She said so many things that I was like, wow, this is actually fighting words here, like the way in which she addressed her. And Jasmine has tried to keep her head above water, but she's also not afraid, Congresswoman is not afraid to speak their language and to speak truth to power in a way that may make people feel uncomfortable. And you all know what I've been through in terms of the attacks against me at different times in my career. I feel that we have to speak up for Jasmine Crockett because she is doing the job of speaking up for us, and
So Jasmine can't speak for herself now. Is that what y'all saying? Y'all trying to say Jasmine can't speak for herself? Okay, let's continue.
is something, and I know how hard it is to constantly be in a position where you have to challenge the opposition, especially when other people who are members of Congress don't do it. Yeah. So when I hear Stephen A. Smith saying it's not all in a day's work and you're not being effective if you spend your day dealing with insults, well, we as black people are being insulted from the time we wake up in the morning until the time we go to bed at night, every single day. And the insults are not just words, it's actually.
Notice what Tamika Mallory is doing right here. Is that playing the victim mentality.
Backed up by actions of, to me, a very evil administration. So we appreciate the work that Jasmine Crockett is doing. And, then he goes on to say, aren't you supposed to be delivering things for your constituents? Well, I think we need to challenge that because in many ways he's aligning himself with this idea that black women are not productive, that we're not smart, we're not getting things done. This is a woman who, one, is a lawyer, who then became a local legislator, and now is a national. She's a congresswoman. That means somebody in Texas thinks she's doing something, because they're voting for her to move her up the ranks. And that's the same narrative that was out there about Kamala Harris, that she wasn't qualified, and yet this woman has climbed the political ladder by taking the stairs, literally, and moving from one level to the next. And I just think we have to challenge that. And the reason why I said maybe y'all need to have a campaign to turn them off is because there's 20 pages of black men saying what the hell is wrong with Stephen A. Smith. Y'all are pushing back on him. Instead of us arguing and making posts, you can just tell people, if you're not feeling it, turn it off. I think the posture that we have to take, to your point, Joy, in Trump's America, we have to take the posture that if these corporations are going to align themselves either by having people who look like us or not, who are spewing misinformation about, various people, whether it be you, Joy, who's been on the other end of this, or myself or others, and if they are supporting things like the anti-DEI movement, we need to stop arguing and getting ourselves upset. All we need to do is turn it off, or take our money and put it back in our pocket and say, just don't worry about us. You don't think we're being effective, then we don't have to
leave us alone.
That's it.
And the thing about it is, and I love that you're doing this, because his cachet, and the reason he got $100 million deal for his next deal, is that he portrays himself as being influential with us. If there's a reason he got that deal and Jason Whitlock did not, because the right even now has to basically admit that Jason Whitlock does not have a black constituency.
Really? Y'all sitting there pocket watching this man? Like really?
But Stephen A. Smith represents himself as being able to talk both to white conservatives and to black men. And so having both and being sort of like, he's like, I can talk to both. It's sort of the Chris Cuomo brand, but black. Right. If he is allowed to continue to say he has that brand by having black men listen to him, he's basically pimping us to get himself rich while giving nothing back to black people. And the last thing I'll add is, this is the reason you have people on the right saying he should run for president, because they think he's equally influential with black and white people. And as long as they think, well, he's got black men and white men on lock, they're going to keep saying stupid things like a man who doesn't understand that a woman who's in the minority party in the House can't move legislation because they don't control the floor. Dude, you want to be president and you don't understand who makes legislation and how? You don't understand that one congresswoman out of 435 members can't, quote unquote, be legislating? Legislate with who? The Republicans who don't listen to them, won't even talk to them, lock them out of rooms. And what are you doing bipartisan with them? Do fascism together? Do you want them to get together and fund ICE together, fund Israel together, fund genocide together? What is it that you want her to cooperate with? He needs to explain a little more before he gets credibility.
Right. He says work with Trump. And I want to know, are you saying work with him to send troops into our communities to militarize our neighborhoods? Oh, you know what? Maybe she should work with him around firing.
Oh, Jesus. Look at this on the side of my nose. It's an electronic black hair remover.
She should work with him around firing the majority of the Department of Education, Special Education Department. Why not? Maybe it's the 300 and however many thousand, we believe it's more than 300,000 black women who've been pushed out of the workplace because of his anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion attacks. Maybe she should work with him on those things. These people are not working with us, and it tells me.
And let's be honest, DEI has never benefited black folks. DEI has benefited white women and the gay folks. That is it. That is all. Let's continue.
One, the reason why I raised how the things that I know about him, Kyrie Irving, get your money, stop messing your money up, which by the way, Kyrie Irving is probably one of the most principled NBA stars in the game. You don't have to agree with him all the time, but one thing I know is that Kyrie is 10 toes down on the issues that he believes in, which we align with in many ways. Also, Kyrie is a clutch person that we can contact and say payroll is not going to get met in these small organizations, or a family needs to bury a person, unfortunately. And Kyrie is somebody who shows up consistently. I just want to know where Stephen A. Smith is doing that work, right? For you to tell him that he's messing up the money. Kyrie is more concerned, which he's still getting money, but he is more concerned with the issues that he cares about. Then the same thing with Jalen Rose. Like, you are trying to tell now Jasmine Crockett to capitulate, to work with people who have literally designed, these people have a Project 2025 design of document that talks about putting Black people back in our place, which to them is to reduce and diminish our value in this nation. And it is happening in real time. So what it tells me is that either Stephen A. Smith doesn't know what he's talking about, and he needs to be educated, and or he does know.
Even though we know Project 2025 is on paper and parts of it have been implemented, was the proof of the quote unquote getting put in our place. I'm not gonna get put in my place. Now you may get put back in your place, Tamika, but I'm not. My place is my place.
And he's intentionally spreading misinformation and disinformation, and it just has to be challenged at this point.
Okay, you're saying that Stephen A. Smith is spreading misinformation and disinformation. Show me where. Where is he doing that?
See, and that's the point that I was making earlier. It's either or. I don't know what it is definitively. Either he's an idiot and he has no idea what he's talking about, or he's crazy like a fox and he's doing
Shame, guilt, insults, and need to be right, ladies and gentlemen.
this strategically, like you were saying, Joanne, and it's all about the money and the power that comes with aligning yourself with Trump. But I want to ask you about this, Tamika, because with the post that you put up about Stephen A. Smith and turning him off, because you were one of the main orchestrators of the Target boycott, and I wonder if that's what you're suggesting happens here, because I feel like his broadcast, we need to stop supporting them, and Black men need to stop. They need to stop separating what he's doing and saying about Black women and Black people, that's undermining us, from his knowledge when it comes to sports, and his being so entertaining at his delivery of sports. Like, I think you need to make them one. So what do you think about boycotting his projects?
So I think, I heard one of my dear brothers, he didn't mention my name, and so I'm not going to mention his, but on a popular radio show, morning show, I heard one of my dear brothers talking about, this idea that you cannot cancel people, or you shouldn't cancel people for their opinion. Well, guess what? Don Imus thought that the Black women, the Black basketball players, the women basketball team at Rutgers were nappy-headed hoes. He said that too. And guess what? We turned him off. And a lot of people turned him off, and he had to apologize. And there was a full campaign to shut Don Imus down. And as you all know, there was a significant impact to his bottom line because of that disrespectful opinion that he had about young Black women.
He's never come back.
He's never been back, right? He's never been back. I mean, he's been I've seen a little Don Imus here and there, but the point is that
not the level,
right, but it has nothing to the same degree as before he made that statement. So there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions, but when your opinion begins to, in my judgment, undermine the work that we are doing, and especially someone like Jasmine, the work that she's doing is so critical in it. Trump and them talk crazy, y'all. Crazy.
Here's a question I got. What work has Jasmine Crockett done? Because the only thing I see Jasmine doing is running her mouth. They ain't working.
Crazy. Craziest things every day. So now all of a sudden we're asking Jasmine to go in there, button up, and speak to them with a certain decorum that they don't have. So to make the point, to close the loop here, just like you have a right to your opinion, we have a right to say your opinion is harmful, is dangerous, and we're turning you off. Let's go to Target.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of corporations said they weren't going to do diversity, equity, and inclusion anymore. But guess what? My mama went to Target and stayed in there for 4 hours buying stuff she didn't need. And my cousin and you, Joy, and Sue Ann, and this person and that person. The names go on and on. And so did I. Running around Target because Michelle Obama said it was Target, and so we have a special relationship with Target, or we had, that we might not have with other people. We don't care about what XYZ corporation, they shouldn't do it either. Everybody should be supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion. But
Capital Group and KKR are expanding access to a world of investing once reserved for a select few. Explore the world of public-private plus funds. Take the first step.
Turning hiding spots into honey holes. Since 1957. Never ran.
YZ Corporation, they shouldn't do it either. Everybody should be supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion. But that company didn't strike the nerve. You got to go with the people power. The people power said, Target, how dare you? And we're going to make you pay. You're going to be held accountable. And now they've lost $12 billion in market share value, and their stock is down the lowest in 5 years. That's how you speak to these people. You got to talk to them in a language that they hear. So everybody's not going to turn off Stephen A. Smith. We know that. But if 1 million of us do,
that's right.
ESPN gets a message to say, hey, we might need to stay away from especially politics. I can't stop him from doing the sports commentary, and he might not like whoever, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to, let me not get myself in trouble bringing up folks. But when you step into the realm, when we are dealing with authoritarianism, when we're dealing with fascism, when we're dealing with oppression and suppression, we're about to go towards the midterm elections. We cannot have people with the influence that Stephen A. Smith has on TV and other major platforms misinforming our people, telling our people that folks like Jasmine Crockett she's ineffective. How dare you do that?
And by the way, Disney ABC that owns ESPN, and I believe they still own it, they don't
happen to try to.
But here, this is the thing I want to know. Stephen A. Smith said that she's not effective. Can any of these 3 women, TAMIKA Mallory, Joy-Ann Reid, and Jackie Reid, can these 3 women prove that Jasmine Crockett has did anything worthwhile? I'll wait.
Fire Jimmy Kimmel.
Hello. And this is where I'm going. They have no problem effectively trying to silence and cancel Jimmy Kimmel for giving his opinion and canceling him. And nobody on the side you're talking about said you can't cancel, right? And then the other piece is that same company has no problem telling The View you're an entertainment show. You shouldn't be doing politics. Well, guess what? Stephen A. Smith is a sports show. And the right keeps saying, shut up and play, and sports and politics don't mix. So if that same company can tell the ladies of The View that they need to back off of Trump and do entertainment and do girl talk and don't do politics, why can't they turn to Stephen A. Smith and say, talk about football, basketball, baseball, and hockey? Because that's what we hired you for. We didn't hire you to be a political pundit. So everyone is saying, hold Stephen A. Smith to the same standard you hold comedians and you hold the women of The View, one of whom is a freaking former prosecutor. You got political strategists. You got people who worked in the White House. Those ladies actually have more right to talk about politics because at least they've been adjacent to it. Stephen A. Smith is a sports commentator. So all we're saying to ABC, be consistent.
So y'all tell me that Stephen A. Smith can't have an opinion. I swear.
No one's saying cancel people for their views. We're saying treat everybody that works for ABC Disney the same, and he gets to do what none of the people on The View get to do. Go way out the fuck out of his lane and talking about politics when that ain't what he got hired to do. That's all we're saying, Disney, be consistent.
Yeah, thank you, Joy, because the next time you hear that, I'm going to give you credit for it one time, and then after that, I'm taking it on my own. Okay, because that's good right there.
I just now realized something. These women don't know that Stephen A's podcast is independent from ESPN. Stephen A's podcast is independent from ESPN, which means on that podcast he can talk about whatever the f he want to talk about. And if y'all three women don't like it, y'all can kiss his ass.
I was thinking of it from a different perspective, which whatever, it doesn't even matter now. The perspective is the one that you just gave, that hey, y'all said Jimmy Kimmel was out of line. So why is it that it's okay when it comes to targeting Black women specifically? And I need people to understand, because of what I have experienced, the attacks against me, the newspaper articles that were filled with lies. I need people to know that when you have a Jasmine Crockett, a Joyanne Reed, Jackie Reed, and the list goes on, of Angela Rye, of Brittany Packnett, and we know Latasha Brown, Melanie Campbell. When you have these people out there putting their necks out for us, because not everyone is doing it. We have to have a mechanism for standing up, and we need Black men to stand in the gap.
Yes. Yes.
Check another Black man and say, you keep your hand and your mouth off of Jasmine Crockett. And if you did not go on air 2 weeks ago and call Laura Loomer out for the language that she used about this Black woman who looks like your daughter, then you don't get the right to put your mouth on Congresswoman Jasmine.
Shut the hell up, Tamika.
Come on. There you go.
So,
Amen.
Amen. Black men may not agree. I don't know. We'll see how people, and they may do it. But and by the way, Stephen A. Smith now knows that we feel this way, because it wasn't just me, it was also Tiffany Cross on the Native Land Pod, and a number of other individuals who spoke to this issue. And so I've heard, people have told me that he is making phone calls to discuss with folks why this is an issue, because it's just his opinion. And it's good that he knows that when it comes to Black women, we ain't having it. We're not having
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Time and time again.
That's right.
Tamika, we love.
Well, I can tell you, sis, and look, I get up on things because of some of the stuff that you guys do on social media. So I don't pay attention to what Stephen A. Smith says, and I'm being honest. So I didn't know about it until it was on your social media. So now that I'm aware, we shall be bringing it up on the Joy B Show as well. And look, just as the Women's March became disinvited from my platform on MSNBC after they played with you, and they will call us constantly trying to get off. And we said we do not recognize a women's march. What is women's march? Because we don't F with them no more, because they mess with you. And so the reality is we have a right to withdraw. And what we're saying is we will withdraw from anyone who disrespects our sister. You can feel free to keep on attacking her, but don't expect our support. And Stephen A. Smith has invited me to come on his show, and I promise you, that invitation will not be accepted. I have no interest in being on air with somebody who simply feels that his...
Inspired by a true story.
I got all on my land. God gave me the ears to hear.
When her faith was tested.
What's the damage? This might be the end of the road.
You give them so easy.
She inspired a nation to believe.
How does it feel to be the richest little girl in America?
On November 7th.
I ain't selling.
You want a war? Sometimes pray.
He feels that his way up, his level up, is to attack Black women.
Absolutely.
So thanks for the invite, but it's still a no.
They said that he was that it's possible that I'll get an invite, and I'm going to go up there so I can tell him in his face what our issue is with his behavior. And then after that, he can go on about his business. But I think that he should address what he has said directly with people who can articulate why it's problematic. And then, he can go do his thing. I have no desire. I just, like, Stephen A. Smith is not a thing that I watch or listen to or any of that. But I also know, and I'll be done here, that Black men have been particularly targeted by misinformation. right? And we know that some of them, not all, the majority stand 10 toes down in support of us, of Black women, of Black people. We know that. But there is a growing group that has been targeted and has admitted they're vulnerable around this misinformation thing. And so Stephen A. Smith has a very sensitive part of a group of our population that we need. You know, and so we can't just let this stuff go unchecked because, you know, for the most part, Black women, if we hear something like that, we like, get out of here with that nonsense. But some of our men are susceptible, as they would say, to his commentary, and we have to make sure that there is a balance. So
that's right.
We're gonna balance them on out.
Balance them out.
Let me add this, Tamika. You know what I think? My 2 cents. I don't think you should, if he invites you, if the invitation is coming, I don't think you should go on his show. You should make him come on yours.
Ooh, that's right.
No,
that's
you should
right.
make him come to your show. Right. You get those ratings. Don't give him those ratings until he changes. Don't go there and have that.
That has been said. That
is absolutely. Let him come. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Yeah. The media is growing. We're all doing our own thing.
That's right.
Let them come to us. If he wants to have that conversation, let him come and sit his ass right on your podcast.
Amen. Amen.
All right, and let me just say this lovingly. Don Imus is dead. That's why we haven't seen him.
Oh, is he dead?
Well, now he's dead. Yeah, he died. But I'm saying, but it was years before he died.
It was
years before he died. And he did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know,
yeah, he fell off after that.
He fell off, for sure.
Fell off so much that I didn't know that man was dead.
I was just,
It's you know, as we get older, he was already a very senior man.
He was heading on that.
He was. I just wanted to put that out there.
Good to know, because that would have been in the comments. Like, y'all didn't know that.
It would have been in the comments, girl. We got a lively family that follows us. But Tamika, it's so good to see you. I love everything that you're doing and support you 150%. So thank you for coming back on our show. We love you.
Thank you. Love y'all.
We love you, cousin.
All right, cousin.
Bye. Well, special thanks to our girl, Tamika Mallory. I love her so much. And I'm glad that she's calling on Black men to step up when it comes to DNA.
Amen. And we also have to remember that she's one of the leaders of the Target boycott. People give Reverend Jamal Bryant the credit he definitely deserves for pushing the Target boycott, but always good to say their names. Tamika Mallory
and Nina.
And also Nina Turner, who were like core to starting the whole thing. So we want Nina and Tamika to always get their flowers as well. So we appreciate her coming on and talking all the things.
Yes, we love her. We love you guys. We thank you, family, for joining us every week for a little bit of read this, read that. Listen, do us a favor. Please subscribe, because the algorithm, you know, we want the algorithm to love us, and we need your help with that. So subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and make sure.
Okay, I done had enough. Here's what I think about this whole thing here. See if I can find it. I'm trying to find something, y'all. This is why I think of the whole daggone pod. This crap show right here. Let me replay this again, in case y'all didn't hear me. That whole crap show I had to push y'all through. This is what I think. With that being said, like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
The deadline for the 2025 allowance card has been announced. All Americans over 60 who have Medicare